Hello, everyone, and welcome to the stream. This is Otaku Showboat. Today is Sunday, March 22nd, 2020. If you are watching the VOD on YouTube, don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and if you are so inclined, head on over to twitch.tv/OtakuShowboat to leave a follow to be notified when I go live, Sundays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays, from 10 a.m. to approximately 1 p.m. US Eastern Time. You can do all of the social stuff through the links in the description below the video, including supporting Pyadon's development at patreon.com/Pyadon and myself at patreon.com/Otaku Showboat. Hello, Ave. Welcome. Welcome to the very beginning of the stream this time. Oh boy, so PySuite's been updated several times, including a push that literally just went live like 5 minutes ago. And I do have the very most recent update to the PySuite, to Alien Life. So that's a change. It's new stuff. There's a new like composting system that's been added for extra biomass. So there's that. There's also changes to like manure and all that Immortal Sniper had gone through and done. Made some adjustments to the balance there, so we have to at some point take a look at that. I don't know if that's going to be the first thing that we immediately do, but I think at the very start, I just want to express some Schadenfreude over the entire situation that has developed with the GameStop store. Can we have some Schadenfreude for GameStop at the moment? Because that story is just, oh my. So here in the United States, we have this store called GameStop, this video game store, and a few days ago they decided, hey, we're going to classify our retail stores as essential retail and remain open in areas and states that have decided that they are going to have closed all of the retail stores that are not essential, non-essential retail stores. So GameStop is like, oh hey, we're totally essential retail because we sell keyboards and mice for the people that are going to be at home having to telecommute. Ignoring the fact that the keyboards and mice that they sell are, generally speaking, $60 plus Razer gaming keyboards and mice. So, obviously, retribution has happened to GameStop because of this. California forcibly closed all the stores first. They are the first one. That they made them close completely. And then yesterday, the state of Pennsylvania revoked the business licenses of the entirety of GameStop. Every single one of their stores has had their business licenses revoked until further notice. And the governor has classified all electronic and hobby retail stores as non-essential. Has actually classified them as non-essential and has closed all electronic stores and hobby stores. So needless to say, very shortly afterward, within hours afterwards, GameStop releases a statement saying that they are officially closing to the physical access to every single one of their stores across the United States. So you can no longer enter the store to shop. What you can still do is curbside pickup, as well as all the online orders and online shipping and all of that. So they're still going to have some presence in some stores, for curbside pickup, but they are on reduced staffing and all of that, and there's like information about how they're going to be compensating the people who no longer can work and all that sort of stuff. It's yeah, so they got they got their teeth kicked in by actual state governments for their actions. So Schadenfreude, enjoy their pain. Enjoy their pain. That's the story I wanted to tell because that was just I was laughing so hard. So hard. As soon as I saw what Pennsylvania in particular had done, it's like, yeah, they deserve that. Yeah, they totally deserve that. Mm. Mm. Feels good. Feels good that they got some sort of retribution against them for their actions. So, in other news, why were they open? Well, it's because in, they were actually open because there were two games that released this past Friday, and they sort of wanted to be open for the two games that released this past Friday. You know, Doom Eternal and Animal Crossing New Horizons. Those two games, big, huge games that released. They sort of needed to be open for that because otherwise they would probably have just gone out of business straight up. Um, I have not bought Doom Eternal. I don't intend to at this point, but I did get Animal Crossing, and I have been enjoying Animal Crossing. I still have things I need to do today in Animal Crossing I'll likely be playing it the entirety of the rest of my day after the stream. So, hey, that's been my time. Let's get into the game. Let's get into the actual Factorio. That sounds ideal. So what did we do last time? We got Pi Science last time. That's what we did. Like first thing, we got the Pi Science going. Um, which means that we finished off the PCB2s. That's like the main thing that we did was we finished off PCB2s here. And we've got a little bit of a storage of them. In fact, we probably have a little bit of a storage of our neural processors as well, because as it turns out, what is our actual limiting factor here on this Pi Science? It's plastic, because of course it's going to be plastic going forward. So I will need to scale that a little tiny bit. However, I don't even think this is our limiting thing for the current tech we're researching. I think it's blue. Yeah, blue science is my limit there. And what is limiting my vat brain right now? What is limiting my vat brain? Looks like fetal serum, actually. Well, what's limiting the fetal serum? Guts. Well, I think that the guts is something that's going to start to accrue a little bit more now that I have taken care of this major issue. But again, plastic. This is all coming down to a lack of plastic, so I think I may need to detour today, unfortunately, uh, to scale up the plastic a bit because this is going to be a little bit annoying. Um, dealing with the lack of yeah all all these orange lights are disturbing. I don't like orange lights. I need more augs. What did you miss, Immortal? You missed only the Schadenfreude against the game store called GameStop deciding that they were going to classify themselves as an essential retail store to stay open during all of the closures caused by coronavirus right now in the United States. And they got smacked down hard by states. Two states, California and Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania being the bigger of the retributions by completely revoking their business license until further notice. Yeah. It's great. It's great. It's fantastic. Love seeing that. So besides the pie science that we did last time, we also did slaked lime. Sodium hydroxide. The slaked lime loop. That's what we did. And then there's like lots and lots and lots of changes and updates and all of that good stuff that will need to happen. That is a lot of recipes. Liking the new I haven't looked at the new manure. I know it exists. I haven't looked at it yet. But also there's biomass recipes now. There's a bit of biomass stuff that exists now. GameStop as a store, by the way, Ave, has been on severe decline for over a decade, and they were probably going to be going out of business within the next 5 years anyway, even without coronavirus. But now that they've been forced to close the physical locations across the entirety of the United States, it's just going to hasten the inevitable. At the very least, I can foresee that they're probably not going to open up a lot of the stores that they've just shut down for the virus. Even after all the dust settles, I don't see all of them coming back. It might be a prime opportunity, actually, for GameStop to, do something they should have done years ago, which is do a complete transition to digital, and not like the crap transition that they currently have. So, hello, welcome to all of the folks on the stream. I hope everyone is enjoying all of the time that they have off these days. Well, actually, in Europe, I mean, so GameStop is not just known as GameStop. That's more US. It's also EB Games. It's also EB Games. So you might see it called that some places. They were two separate entities, but one bought the other. So, yeah, stuff, things. Manure changed. I don't know exactly what with manure changed overall, but it's changed apparently. Um, I guess betting has technically also improved. Yeah, if you go to the GameStop website, they have like both together. GameStop.com. At least I've seen both of the logos side by side in the past. EB Games, GameStop. Yeah, it's EB Games is a GameStop subsidiary, technically speaking. So you may see it as that. So anyway, yeah, manure is apparently a bit better, but we'll dig into that a little bit more. Still, regardless of the manure changes, I still don't like liquid manure Zogna urea. Like, even if the manure is a lot easier to get, right? Even if it's a lot easier to get, it's still a pain in the butt for urea. Like, it's always going to be a pain in the rear end to get urea, regardless of how well how easy it is to get the manure, because Zogna. Your limiting factor, if it's not the manure, it's going to be the Zogna, because the Zogna is going to be iron, copper, wood, glass to get. Iron, copper, wood, and glass for the Zogna bacteria. in the form of wood lamps, petri dishes, which is going to also require agar and the pressurized air. So congratulations, now Zogna is going to be your limiting resource to get mass scale urea. However, there are other ways of getting urea. There are other ways through blood and wastewater of getting urea. So it's not. I mean, you have to compare the scale of setups. You can do fish to process the fish into blood and use the wastewater from the fish as well to get urea. So you can do that. There are people who have planned all of that out to do fish into wastewater blood. There's also manure. What is good about the changes with manure isn't so much the urea, it's all of the other plant and fungi biotic recipes that use manure. That is the better part of changes to manure, is that manure gets used in a lot of plant recipes and some fungus recipes, and that makes it a little bit easier to use those better recipes with the plants. So that's the big difference there. Not so much with the urea scale. Yes, it helps that the liquid manure process to get urea is a little bit less of a pain, but still Zogna. How would Zogna even get improved? I don't even know. I have to play around with this to see what would be an improvement here. Maybe 30 or 40. Maybe just slight improvement on the output of the Zogna would help, but anyway. I'll have to look. Yes, increase the output per craft is my initial thought. I don't think it really needs to be a lot, but still. I mean, there's an argument to be made anyway on improving the output of the Zogna bacteria, if only because it is a fluid and it's a little difficult dealing with fluid outputs in like the single and double digits, right? It can become a little bit of a hassle with pipes at very low throughput, because you're going to end up with having to wait on stuff getting stuck at like values of 1 or 2 in pipe segments that will always be there. So it might help a little bit with that sort of an issue. But yeah, apparently Pi doesn't want that touched. The stack sizes is the default with the Pi suite for 500 on these. So, let's actually, now that we're about 20 minutes in, do something. That sounds like a plan. So the idea is that I now need train station for sodium hydroxide. This is actually easy because I have this. This say hello to train station sodium hydroxide. Hey, I can't believe that I actually have something that I can use for this just immediately. Isn't that wonderful when that happens? That's wonderful when that happens, because I only need to send one thing out and I don't need to bring anything in. I think. I do hope I'm not, like, lying. Also, this is wrong. Autosave, please. Come on. There you go. That. There we go. Now that's correct. I need to modify that a little bit, but otherwise it should be good. Should I make it white? Yeah, I should make it white. That's black. That's white. There we go. Okay, and then this is the, thingy. They made this UI, like, really wide recently. Will that be the default layout for my stations? Those that do not require anything in. Well, yeah, I suppose. You can see it's been repeated a few times on this segment. This temp station. I've got the urea, the tin chromium, I've got the right, I do. I've got wood and I've got the nickel. All are using this already as this template. So I've got like 5 now on this little segment of this exact same train station. So yeah, just this for the one and I can expand it down a little bit. I mean, yeah, the space could be a lot more efficient, but it's just something I made that I'm copying pasting. I make no claims of efficiency. I make 0 claims of efficiency. Speaking of which, so I've made videos for a very long time, right? I've made YouTube videos for years, years and years and years. But in particular, I have one of very extremely few complete Gladius playthroughs on my YouTube channel that I started playing 7 years ago. Finished under 6 years ago. I am getting comments on that series right now from someone that's watching it, telling me how bad I'm playing. Informing me of the things that I am doing not efficiently. Seven years ago. I played this game 7 years ago for my channel. And there are still comments being made about how inefficiently I play that game. Played. Past tense. So that will be a thing that just persists forever, I'm sure. Anyway, I have to get these 4 warehouses now down into here through like 80 per second of stuff. So, stacking? Shall we stack? I think we shall stack. Yeah, I think we shall stack. So this is 20 each, right? So that makes this fairly simple. Yes, I'm very bad at playing Gladius, but guess what? I beat the game. I'm bad at Gladius. I beat it. Hey, these 2 things can be true at the same time. It's the end of the world as you know it, right? Someone can actually be bad at a game and still beat it. And still present it in a Let's Play. Oh my god, this is a foreign concept to some people, I'm sure. How can you be bad at a game and still beat it, right? Anyway. Of course, I'm sure people like in the moment as they're watching. No one actually thinks that it's been any amount of time since that video was posted, because everyone watches videos and they assume that this just happened. That is not the case. Not the case in the slightest. This is only 15, not 20. What am I thinking? Yeah, I need another on all of these. Or I could use reds. I mean, there's that too. I sort of have access to these things called red belts. You may have heard of them at some point. But I do technically have them, and that would improve this situation dramatically. So each stacker processes 15 per second max at yellow belt stackers. The yellow stackers process 15. The red stackers process 30. The red stackers process 30, so I could have 2 yellows shoving into a red stacker. Yes, red belts are these mythical things. I don't know why anyone would have heard of them at this point. The reds are mythical creatures. We've not had these things before. They are mythical. Now, speaking of which, I will need at least the 2 belts, I think, because the max 1 compressed yellow belt can move is 75 per second, not 80. Huh? Right. That helps. And that. No. I need a lot more loaders. Just gonna toss out there that I need a few more loaders. Yes, I want to unstack them. The whole point, by the way, of doing the stacking here was to not have to draw 8 belts down into here. The whole point was to not have to draw 8 yellow belts down into this. I could leave it stacked, but then I would have to unstack it at the destination every single time. And it does not improve the resource density within like warehouses or on the train either. So it really it offers no improvement, because while the thing is worth 5 items, the stack size is reduced by a factor of 5. The only thing it improves is, like, the load time on the trains. That's it, basically, because you have to move less physical entities. You can load 100 units of the things a bit faster than you can load 500 units of things. Yes, the stack size does get proportionally smaller, so the only improvement you get is belt throughput and loading speed. But that loading speed also comes at the, at the cost. I mean, you could just throw the normal stuff on it anyway. Oh, yeah, stuff things. Bring me things. Bring me things, my beautiful robots. I need all the glorious things. Yes, that's one of those subtle nuances with the belt boxes stacking is it does reduce the stack size by the same factor as the compression. What did you miss? I've just built a train station for sodium hydroxide, and I'm just wrapping that up right about now. Do I even have trains and stuff? I do. That's good. At least I have that. Yes, I'm about to have train station sodium hydrox going here. My, that's spacing. Spacing is everything. So, there we go. I will note that we have exactly 4 compression belt boxes making these lines, each of these lines, and then exactly 4 to uncompress. So we're good. We're good. It's equal. It's equal, and I've saved myself a fair amount of yellow belt, which is the point of stacking, right? The whole point is to save on the amount of belt that you have to draw. Ah. So, trains. Trains are good. I like trains. Do I actually use the black cargo wagons? So, 80 per second, right? This would be a pretty good opportunity. To actually use the larger cargo wagons. Hmm. How is the meat going on you? I've got a little spare. By the way, if I had Dingrit's food, I could feed the crawdad Dingrit's food. Yeah. Or fish. I could feed it fish if I really wanted to. Oh boy. Alright, so I want my black wagons, cargo wagons, which are right down here. I haven't had a use for these yet. So I am glad to finally have a use for these. The black cargo wagons. I've had a use for the black fluid wagons, because honestly, vanilla fluid wagons hold nowhere near enough fluid by default. So these black cargo wagons, they just hold more stuff. That's all they do. They just hold more. Bigger buffer of stuffs. Okay, auto-saving. Yet again. So for folks trickling in, the only like major thing, quote unquote major thing you missed at the very beginning was a discussion of uh of having immense amounts of Schadenfreude over the plight of GameStop after they decided that they would be essential retail, that they would consider themselves to be essential retail in the United States. Yeah, that did not go well for them at all. Pennsylvania revoked their business licenses for every single one of the stores. Yeah. Yeah, that was they deserve that. Trying to force themselves open in a state that was shutting down all non-essential retail. Hmm. Hmm. Anyway, so NaOH. Let's find the thingy. Station to depot. The list is getting quite long, by the way. You may have noticed, but my list of stations is getting quite long these days. Yes, yes, do the silly little loop thing that you occasionally have to do. See how quickly that's filling up? These wagons are bigger wagons. These have 80 versus 40. They're twice the size as regular cargo wagons, and you see how quickly this is filling up here. So needless to say, I shouldn't have to worry about sodium hydroxide for about 10 hours, maybe. I think I've got a few hours before I have to worry about sodium hydroxide again. I will eventually have to make more sodium hydroxide, but I have it at least a good 10 hours or so before I need another setup. Depends on what we do in these next 10 hours. Of real time, I'm not going to say game time. Game time does what it wants to do at 2x game speed. We'll say real time at least a few streams, right? Let's say for 3 or 4 more streams at least.